Welcome to Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Go ahead and say this disclaimer. All defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty. I want to go ahead and share my screen. I want to share with y'all a book at Amazon. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithms. Born in 11 Hell 2.0. This is the paperback edition. You can see it pretty well. And the back cover says, in Born and Live in Hell version 2.0, Darlene J. Clark courageously unveils the haunting realities of her tumultuous childhood, marked by abuse, betrayal, and unimaginable hardship. This raw, unflinching memoir not only recounts the painful moments of her past, but serves as a beacon of hope and resilience for those who have suffered in silence. Through her story, Darlene calls for understanding, awareness, and the courage to stand up against abuse, reminding us all that survival is not only possible, it's a triumph. For those seeking a tale of strength and amid adversity or live in hell, will inspire and move you deeply. I hope everyone's doing well today. I want to say this for the judge. I'm going to go down here to let's go Magistrate, Judge, Charleston County, South Carolina. Exactly. We'll say boo there. Hello, everyone that came in. Thank you so much. So here is where the South Carolina magistrate faces federal charges of possession of child pornography. This is thanks to John Monk, September the 16th. We give credit where credit is due. Centralized bond hearing court, preliminary hearing court. That's a picture of that. The magistrate's office in North Charleston. A Charleston County magistrate was arrested Tuesday by federal agents and faces charges of possession of child pornography. The charges against Magistrate James B. Gosnell Jr. were made public around 5 p.m. Tuesday after a federal criminal complaint setting out the charges against him and an affidavit concerning the evidence was posted on the Federal Court Records database known as PACER. Earlier Tuesday, Gosnell was arrested by Homeland Security Investigations, the investigative arm of Homeland Security. He is based in North Charleston and one of 14 magistrates in Charleston County. After Gosnell was taken into custody, but before the complaint against him was made public, South Carolina Supreme Court Chief Justice John Kittredge, acting on behalf of the court, ordered Gosnell suspended from his office. Kittredge wrote his action was based on credible information provided to this court that Gosnell's continued service as a magistrate poses a substantial threat of serious harm to the public and the administration of justice. An 11-page arrest warrant and affidavit in the case said evidence against Gosnell links him to buying child sex abuse material, also known as child pornography, on the Internet. The affidavit said Internet addresses used to purchase child pornography have been traced to an email account used by Gosnell and that money had been paid to download child sex abuse material. On Monday, September the 15th, 2025, Federal Magistrate Judge Molly Cherry signed a search warrant for Gosnell's house. Early Tuesday, agents executed the search warrant at Gosnell's home. Gosnell answered the door in response to law enforcement's knock. I advised Gosnell that law enforcement was executing a search warrant in furtherance of an investigation of child sex abuse material, wrote Homeland Security Investigations Agent Kyle Tallio in an affidavit in the complaint. Gosnell told agents he believed he received the thumb drive from a guy in Charleston he met online approximately 6 or 7 years ago. The affidavit said, according to Gosnell, the thumb drive contained hundreds of videos of child porn, the affidavit said. Gosnell also told agents he had sent money for child sex abuse material and that his computer had been hacked while he had attempted to send money over the internet to buy child and adult pornography, the affidavit said. Numerous electronic devices, including flash drives, were seized. Devices had graphic images on them depicting an infant, a toddler, and a young boy in sex acts, the affidavit said. A press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in South Carolina said the investigation began with Homeland Security investigation agents got a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about multiple financial transactions with a known distributor of child sexual abuse material from the United Kingdom. The payments came from a peer-to-peer online money transfer account associated with Gosnell's known phone number, address, and email account, the press release said. The transactions occurred in November 2024. During Tuesday's search of Gosnell's house, agents located numerous videos and images depicting child sexual abuse, including videos and images of prepubescent minors, infants, and toddlers engaged in sexually explicit conduct. We all know that these kids that young, they're not wanting it. No other kid usually wants it. So don't go and say that they were complicit, okay? Gosnell is set to be arraigned Wednesday morning before Magistrate Judge Cherry. Assistant U.S. Attorneys Catherine Orville, Whit Sowards, and Emily Limehouse are prosecuting the case. This case was brought as part of Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative launched in May 2006 by the U.S. Department of Justice to combat the growing epidemic of child sexual exploitation and abuse. Led by the U.S. Attorney's Offices and the Criminal Division's Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section, Project Safe Childhood marshals federal, state, and local resources to better locate, apprehend, and prosecute individuals who sexually exploit children, as well as to identify and rescue victims, the press release said. Gosnell is the second South Carolina public official to be arrested this year on child pornography related charges. In June, former South Carolina Representative R.J. May, and I believe I did that story as well, Representative Lexington was indicted on multiple counts of distributing child pornography on the Internet. May, who has since resigned his post, is being held without bond in jail until his trial, now scheduled for early October. So let's go to where this is the justice.gov website. Charleston County Magistrate charged with possessing child sexual abuse material. Federal agents have arrested James Benjamin Gosnell Jr., 68, of Charleston, on a criminal complaint charging him with possession of child sexual abuse material. The complaint alleges that agents with the Department of Homeland Security investigations received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about multiple financial transactions with a known distributor of child sexual abuse material from the UK. The payments came from peer-to-peer online money transfer account associated with Gosnell's known phone number, address, and email account. The transactions occurred in November 2024. We're reading this just in case there's something, a word or two in here that could be different or sentence. Thereafter, agents obtained a search warrant for Gosnell's home and electronic devices. During the execution of the search warrant, agents located a flash drive containing numerous videos and images depicting child sexual abuse, including videos and images of prepubescent minors, infants, and toddlers engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Gosnell was arrested this morning and is set to be arraigned Wednesday morning before U.S. Magistrate Judge Molly Cherry. I wondered if he had any grandkids. I hope to God he never messed with them. This case was brought as part of Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative launched in May of 2006 by the U.S. Department of Justice, which we went over that part right here. So let's go on down. The case was investigated by Homeland Security Investigations. Assistant U.S. Attorneys Catherine Orville, Whit Sowards, and Emily Limehouse are prosecuting the case. All charges in a criminal complaint are merely accusations, and defendants are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. The term child pornography is currently used in federal statutes and is defined as any visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct involving a person less than 18 years old. While this phrase still appears in federal law, child sexual abuse material is preferred as it better reflects the abuse that it is depicted in the images and videos and the resultant trauma to the child. The Associated Press stylebook also discourages the use of the phrase child pornography. Let's go over here. So now look at him, the suspended county magistrate to remain in jail. Hallelujah. Woo! Morning headlines. The suspended Charleston County magistrate facing a federal sex materials charge will remain in jail without bond until a detention hearing set for next week. A federal judge ruled Wednesday. So let me see when this was. This was September the 18th, okay? So James B. Gosnell Jr. suspended Tuesday as a magistrate judge as the federal agents arrested him for possession of child sexual abuse materials is scheduled for a detention hearing September the 22nd until he waives his rights to one and agrees to stay in detention, according to media reports. Meanwhile, local and state prosecutors say they'll review cases that went before Gosnell to determine the impact of his arrest on past cases he heard. Woohoo! A magistrate judge since 1996, Gosnell presided mostly over preliminary hearings to determine whether prosecutors could proceed with local charges. We will review our cases to ensure there's been no adverse or even questionable impact on any of our cases. Ninth Circuit Solicitor Scarlett Wilson told the Post and the Courier the State Attorney General's office is conducting a similar review. Federal agents on Tuesday charged Gosnell after they reportedly received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about multiple financial transactions with a purportedly known distributor of child sexual abuse material from the UK. So we found all that information out there. So let me go see what's on the next page, see if anything different. This is just the search here. There are different pictures of him as well. I think it's important to get this word out. Hey there, Carlene. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Hello, everybody. So please get this out about this jerk here. This magistrate judge, James B. Gosnell Jr. in South Carolina. Let's stay up to date on his cases, and I hope that they find amends with people who that might have got wrongly charged, or people who just got a slap on the wrist from doing sexual abuse to these children. But in mind, remember, they said these kids, some of them were infants, prepubescent, toddlers in these sexual acts that he bought. I hope and pray there's not any victims that he has actually touched and molested or raped, since he's got an eye and since he loves to watch this kind of material. I hope and pray no kid has been violated by him. I hate the fact that he bought that, so that means these kids that's in the videos were violated just for the purpose for these people to buy. Sick, sick. So I like to go ahead and play this little thing, this little sound here about they got you, buddy. They got you. Yes, they got you. Woohoo. Hallelujah. They got you. So let's hope that they do the right thing and keep him in jail, because our kids are the most important commodities. They deserve the love and protection. We don't need people like this in our government that's even over our people that judges us. We don't need somebody that evil going over our cases. Vindictive, spiteful. Thank y'all so much, and God bless y'all.